Hi there. In this video tutorial, we'll be learning about annual percentage rates and effective annual rates. To illustrate these concepts, let's assume you deposit $1,000 into your bank account. And let's say that your bank will pay you 12% per year, compounded either semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, and so on. Let's begin with semi-annual compounding. So this means that you will get interest payments twice within the year, every 6 months. So if it was quarterly compounding, that would have been 4 interest payments. If it is monthly, it will be 12 interest payments, and so on. Now, the annual percentage rate ignores the interest earned on interest within the year, whereas the effective annual rate takes it into account. So that is the conceptual difference between these two interest rate quotations. To make that clear, so let's focus on the semi-annual case. So this means that after 6 months, you will earn half of this because there are 2 periods within the year. So they will give you, the bank will pay you 6% after 6 months. So basically, you will have your original deposit and an interest rate of 6% in this case. So let's put 0.06, right? $60 earned. So at the end of 6 months, basically your bank account has now become $1,060, okay? And at the end of the year, you will again earn another 6% interest rate. So we can actually move this down over here. So this time you will be earning $63.60. Then by the end of the year, so let's say this is after, so let's say this is the first payment. So this is the starting period after 6 months. And at the end of the year, you will have $1,060 plus the interest payment. And this makes it $1,123.60. So what is your overall return? So overall return over this year is your final balance divided by your opening balance minus 1. And that, as you can see, this is higher than 12%, right? So this is actually 12.36%. And effective annual rate should be this figure, right? Because it does take into account the interest earned on interest as well. In general, the formula of effective annual rate looks like this. So it is, of course, related to the APR. And here, M is the number of compounding periods within the year. So in this case, it was 2. So for example, if I simply apply this formula over here, so we have 1 plus the APR rate divided by 2, which is the compounding frequency. And I will raise this to the power of 2 as well, and subtract 1. So if I've done everything correctly, this should also be 12.36%. As you can see, I've got exactly the same figure. There's also an Excel function which you can use. So rather than using the formula, that is what I'm going to use here. This function is called the effect function. And as you can see, it says returns the effective annual interest rate. So you just put the nominal rate, which is our APR. And I'm actually going to fix this cell because I will use it for other cells as well. And next thing you need to enter is the number of periods per year, which is of course 2 if it is semi-annual compound. And as you can see, I've got again the correct figure here. Format as percentages, 12.36%. How about quarterly compounding? So with quarterly compounding, if I'm earning 12% per year, it is 3% each quarter. Now, because compounding frequency has increased, I'm earning interest on interest more frequently, okay? So I would expect this to be higher than 12.36. So for example, I could also quickly calculate it here using the formula. So I just need to make sure the correct cells are selected. So the answer should be 12.55% based on the formula. And again, using the effect function, I've got the same result. Okay. Monthly compounding. So again, I should see an increase. So now with monthly compounding, the effective rate increases to 12.68%. How about weekly compounding? We have 52 weeks in a year or 365 days in a year as well. So with weekly compounding, so 12% compounded weekly is translated into an effective annual rate of 12.73%. And for daily compounding, we've got 12.75%. And finally, I've got something called continuous here. So continuous is the case where in this formula, m goes to infinity, right? So there's continuous compounding. So every instant you are earning a tiny interest on your deposit, right? So because this is becoming, of course, a very small number, but this is also becoming a very large number. And in that limiting case, actually, we can't use this formula. We need to use another formula where we're going to have e to the power. So I need to use the exponent function. So e to the power, the APR, minus 1. Okay. And as you can see, it is not very much different than daily compounding. So there's, of course, some rounding. So I can actually format this a bit more nicely. Let's just make it, let's say, 4 decimals. But this should still be larger than daily compounding. So we can actually verify that as well. So I can maybe just copy the format here. As you can see, this is 7475, whereas this is 7497. So the continuous rate is a bit higher than the daily rate. You might wonder why it's not a lot higher, because, you know, I'm earning interest every instant, but I'm earning a tiny amount of interest. So that's why there's not much difference. For example, if I increase this to 20%, then the difference becomes a bit more significant. If I make this, let's say, 50%, then it again becomes a bit higher, okay? Let's go back to 12%. You could also do another trick. So instead of using e to the power r, I could put a very high number here, and I can still use the effect formula. So I should get something very close to this. So let me put a number like 99999, pretty large number. So let me still use the effect function, put the APR, choose this high number of periods. And as you can see, what I get here is very close to this. Okay, this is all I wanted to cover in this video on effective annual rate and annual percentage rate. I hope you have found it useful, and catch up in another video. Thanks for watching.